Hi everyone, welcome back to Andy Eats. Today we're in Ikseon-dong in Seoul to try out some treats in this trendy area. This is Seoul Pot Rice House. As is now the norm, you enter your phone details in the terminal, which reserves your place. There are 4 ahead of me, so hopefully it's not a long wait. The menu shows a variety of dishes, which are basically pots with egg, rice and other ingredients. Steak pot rice? I'll take the big portion for 16,000 won, about £10. There's so many lovely looking things on the menu, it's a shame as I don't have any room in my belly to try them all. I wanted to try this sashimi, but it was sold out already. So I'm obviously going to go for the tempura battered prawns at 2,500 won each. The restaurant is small, it's no wonder I had to wait in a queue, although once you're in, it's got a really pleasant vibe. What's this? Looks like crispy rice bits. I know what this is for. I'll show you in a bit. The food comes out on a tray quite quickly. Underneath this wooden pot lid is a steak, rice, egg and mixed seeds. It looks like bibimbap, but with big chunks of steak and no healthy vegetables. Well, it doesn't look like bibimbap at all. There's a little bit of banchan. The salad looks sad, but there's kimchi, chili with wasabi and some miso soup. What's this? Ouch. It's hot water. I know exactly what this is for, and again, I'll show you in a bit. Once you're ready to start, you can begin mixing. There's a separate bowl which you can use to transfer the meal into. You're probably wondering why you can't just eat out of the original metal bowl. Well, you can if you like, but there's a reason for this, which is that can be used for a further bit of cooking. The rice flakes from earlier can be added along with the hot water, which turns the contents into a kind of soup. Whilst that rice softens in the water, I can try the steak and rice. The pieces of beef look like they're cooked medium, whilst the rice has a thick, sticky looking texture after being mixed together with the egg and sauce. Initially when I bit into it, I couldn't taste much. It was a little under-seasoned for my liking, but the more I ate, the better it got. I found that when you ate everything together on one spoon, it tasted really good. Tender savoury steak with mouthfuls of sticky rice and sesame seeds. Yum. Whilst it's still hot, I'm going to try the amazing looking tempura prawns. They're covered in a kind of sweetcorn salad dressing. I can't wait, let's try. Oh wow, it's actually quite big and heavy. If this was the UK, it's about the same size as a mini fish, but minus the chips. It tastes incredible. The prawn is tender and pops in the mouth, and the tempura batter is savoury and crispy. I love the sweetcorn dressing, which is sweet and creamy. It's delicious. The side dishes weren't anything that special actually. The only thing that I was really interested in was this chili at the end with the wasabi. Hot. What's the verdict? I enjoyed the steak and rice. At 16,000 won, it's not that cheap, but I think it was worth it for the flavour and experience. The prawns, however, they were my favourite, not least this sweetcorn sauce. The meal's not over yet. Now if you watch some of my previous videos in Korea, you'll know I'm not a big fan of the dried up rice that's softened in water. As you can see, it looks pretty interesting. Nope. The restaurant's busy, so I don't stick around and I pay my bill. As part of the service, you get some Yakult, which is weird, but welcome. I've got 2. Refreshing. The area is quite busy and there's lots of cool places. I can't see them all. I could make 20 videos here easily. Here we are at a place called Seoul Coffee. I hear they have some pretty interesting and famous desserts. I placed an order for some iced tea and some of their famous butterbread and chocolate. All I have to do now is find a table and wait for it to be ready. And here it is. Wow, would you believe that this little assortment cost 16,000 won? I literally just came from a restaurant and paid that much for a steak dinner. For the same price, I have this. Okay, let's try. This is the butter bread and, oh my god, I'm starting to realise that these pieces of butter are huge. I'm trying to be healthy, but I guess I'll start on my diet from tomorrow. Okay. First thing I can taste is definitely butter. My mouth is literally coated, but if I'm being honest, it's very smooth. It tastes unsalted and, well, that's really all I can taste at the moment. The red bean paste is quite subtle in comparison, and the texture of the bread is nothing amazing if I'm honest. I can tell it's all good quality though, but it's pretty pretentious. Here's my tea. I don't know why it's so creamy on the top with cocoa powder, but I'll have to eat this to get to the drink. I recommend not breathing when you try this as it will coat your lungs in powder. But the drink itself is quite nice. I wouldn't say it's worth 7,000 though. 4,500 won, which is £3, gets you 6 little pieces of chocolate. I'm guessing they're pretty special for this price. They're quite thick and they taste like dark chocolate. Not overly sweet, but I would have preferred if the texture was harder. They're semi-soft or semi-hard. I'm not quite sure. If I'm honest, they all taste the same to me, but with a slightly different powder on the outside. The cafe alternated between being busy and quiet. People move quickly around the area and off to my next cafe. Hang on, this looks interesting. So if you haven't worked it out already, this is a shooting range. There's a terminal on the wall to pick your weapon of choice, from which you get 30 BB pellets to shoot. I'm going for the one at the bottom. I was given a choice between the paper target or the individual ones. Let's try the paper. Now my friend at work Simon, who was in the army, says this is some of the best shooting he's ever seen. He says if this was a real person, I would mostly have killed them. I'm gonna have to find a prominent place to display it because I'm so proud of my skills. I'll be back. Because it was pretty fun and relatively cheap at 5,000 won. Now my next place I'm a little worried about. It's something of an Instagram tourist trap, so it's no surprise that when I get there, there's a lot of people. I'm not even going to bother queuing using the terminal as it's probably going to be an hour-long wait. Luckily, just opposite there's this interesting looking cafe called Donut Jungsu Ikseon. Let's have a look. Okay, so they seem to sell makgeolli donuts. How interesting. If you watched my last video, I went to a makgeolli bar which I didn't actually enjoy. I hope I'll like this place though. There's a wide variety of donuts to choose from. I'm a pretty simple guy, so I have to go for the Ikseon donut, which is basically a donut and syrup. Looking at the drinks menu, I'm going to balance out the flavour with a pear and honey tea. The main area downstairs is only small, so I'm taking this to the next floor. I only hope I don't drop these. Wow, this looks like a traditional tea house. It's hot outside, but in here it's nice and cool and quite calm and peaceful. I wouldn't normally eat a donut with a knife and fork, but I wanted to appear prim and proper, so here goes. Wow, it looks so light inside. It's not the usual dense dough I was expecting. It almost looks like a very airy bread. Not hairy airy. It cost me 3,900 won, which is a little over £2, and I can say with 100% certainty that this is the best donut I've had in my life. The outside is sweet and sticky and almost forms a skin around the donut. The dough itself isn't that sweet, but it's airy and chewy and so satisfying to eat. I could eat a dozen of these quite easily, and I wish I had something like this in the UK. I don't think the tea can top the donut, but hang on, wow. The aroma of pear and honey from this tea is incredible. I only ever seem to drink black tea in the UK, and I'm generally not a fan of herbal teas, but I think I'm converted. The tea is very slightly sweet from the honey, and it tastes quite light. The aroma is actually from fermented pear, which is quite strong, but I really love this. So much in fact that I bought several boxes to take back with me to the UK. That donut and the tea came to 9,400 won. Was it value for money? Yes. The donut, the tea and the surroundings were well worth it. I'll be back to this area in the future. There's so much to see and do, and hopefully I might even make it to the cafe that I couldn't even get into. Thank you again for watching and supporting my channel through your likes and comments. I'm always on the lookout for new content to share with you, so please let me know what you enjoy about my videos and I'll try to do more of it. Until next time, bye!